All right, it's Monkey, and we're here with...
I'm Zach from Killer Innovations and Icon Defense, and we're here at Triggercon 2023. So, very excited.
Awesome. So tell us about the difference between the company brands.
So the delineation here between Killer Innovations and Icon Defense is Killer Innovations is more of our pistol line. We do muzzle brakes, barrels, slides, triggers, magwells, extensions, all kinds of stuff for 365s, 320s, Glock 19s, things like that. Then for Icon Defense here, we wanted to do something that's a little bit more robust, a little bit more duty-driven, so we started doing some AR-15 stuff. We've actually been making AR-15 stuff for a really long time, but now we're bringing it out of the OEM world and to everybody else as the brand Icon Defense. So handguards, receivers, bolt carriers, muzzle brakes, even a brand new barrel in here that people are going to get to see at this show. So very excited.
Sweet. So would you say Icon's a newer brand, but you said you've had it around a long time? Or?
Well, we've been doing OEM parts for about 20 years now, total. And if you're familiar with Mega Arms at all, the founder of Mega Arms has joined Killer Innovations.
Oh,
and
awesome.
We launched the brand of Icon Defense, which is very similar to Mega Arms. We have our drive lock handguard. If you see on the receivers here, there's something here that you'll notice, you'll remember from the Gators. But this is Icon. We do a lot of OEM work for a lot of really big brands that I'm sure that you guys know. We can't really talk about them all, but there's people at this show that we build stuff for, and there's a lot of stuff that we've helped design and develop. And Icon Defense is kind of just bringing that to light in its own way with its own brand. So
very cool. I suppose I personally remember Mega Arms being good, bang for the buck, but still pushing new technology as well.
Yep. Yeah, they've always been super high quality. The fit and finish on the Mega stuff is just as good as the Icon stuff. This is a forged receiver set here, and there's no pins in it, but that's the fit. So that's just off the line. That's how they fit together. So that's pretty cool to get out of a forged set.
Very cool. Well, you want to start with Killer Innovations?
Sure, we can talk about some killer stuff. We have a handful of new products for the show, and just in general. One of them is our new Gen5 Magwell. So this is a Gen5 Glock 17, but our Magwell will work on the 19 and the Glock 45. So it's got a good lip here to hold your pinky up. It's really low profile for people that are appendix carrying or daily carrying. It's not a big flare, but there's still a lot of meat on the Magwell flare here to help load magazines. We also have our Pro Tucked Compensator. That's this guy right here. There's a few really cool features about this. It's very similar to our old Compensator where it's toolless removal. So you have this button and that releases the knurling on the locking ring and you just thread the locking ring off, but it also is adjustable. So you have this little baffle wrench that fits into the front baffle here. And you can close or open up the port size by spinning this baffle. And that can change the compensation of what's going on. Instead of having to deal with weights and springs and different ammo and stuff like that, we can just tune the compensator to run on your setup. It's also designed to be tucked. You can see here on this Flux Raider frame that the compensator is tucked inside of the frame, and it tracks the same. It fits really good. It performs even better, and it fits seamlessly with our slide here. So that's something that's pretty cool. It's up for the Golden Trigger Award for the show. So is the bull carrier for Icon Defense, which has some really cool features. But
very cool. I suppose I'm not super familiar with comps, so it looks like you're able to dial in the direction of where it's expelling gas.
Well, you're dialing in exactly like how much gas is going to be coming out of the compensator. So this large slot that's right here, that's where all of the gas comes out in a 180-degree fan. So if you want less compensation, you would close the port. So,
and would an example of wanting less is maybe less flash?
Maybe less flash, but also like if you're bouncing too much, or if you want to change, if you're using a really light ammo and there's not a high power factor and you want less compensation because the gun isn't cycling to what you're looking for, you can close this down a little bit so it's not compensating quite as much. So you can change the port size to whatever your liking is, and then there's a little set screw on the front here that you would lock down, and that keeps the baffle from moving.
Very cool. So overall, toolless for setup, and then you just need a small tool to seal it in.
Yep, and there it comes with instructions on how to get it set up and going, and it's very thorough, step-by-step. You know, take this Allen wrench with this size screw, torque it at this setting, test whatever, and then continue. And it's very, very helpful instructions for getting this thing running. So
very cool. Well, tell us more about this this new blaster here.
So this is our P320 slide in our barrel and our tucked compensator. This is just on a Flux Raider setup. I'm sure some of you guys have seen these Flux setups. We have an in-force light and a Holosun AEMS with night vision optics. So it's just a cool little gun, good backpack gun. It's kind of fun. You can depress this lever here, and it's pretty compact, so you can throw it in a backpack, but when you're ready to deploy it, it's automatic. So you have two different magazine storage places. You have the feeding magazine and a spare magazine, and multiple different ways that you can change the magazines, but it's a pretty fun little gun to have. So we're working on some more stuff for advancing our offerings for 320, and the Flux is definitely something that we have in mind.
Very cool. Well, if you can stand it, when I was playing around with it, I was impressed by the controls. If you're able to show us a breakdown of that real quick.
Okay, sure. So you got magazine releases all over the place. You have one here, and that releases the front mag. You also have one here, and that releases the feeding mag. Then you have this combination button back here. It's kind of hard to see, but different levels of pressing it do different things. So a small press will release the front mag, and a big press will release both mags. Why does it have that? Well, let's say your front mag in here is your spare mag, and your feeding mag runs out of ammo. I don't have two mags here to show you real quick, but you would push this all the way in, and it would drop the rear mag and the front mag, so you could pull it out and reinstall like in half a second. So that's pretty cool setup here. So
yeah, it sounded silly at first, but then once you showed it to me, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's wicked. You can do some racing with that thing.
Very cool. And I guess show us what's next. What else do you want to show off?
Well, let's talk about the Icon Defense bolt carrier here, up for the Golden Trigger Award. So, integral gas key, that's the thing that people see first. That's the cool thing that's different. Why does it have this? Well, there's no screws that are going to come loose. It's not going to shear off the key. You're not going to have gas leaks on it. But the coolest thing about the bolt carrier is the chamber size of the gas chamber. So the bolt stroke's a little bit longer. The chamber size is bigger. The ports are moved forward just a little bit. And the cam angle is a little bit different on the carrier. All of these help it be more efficient. So this bolt carrier is about 20% more efficient. It's 20% more efficient because if you're running subsonic ammo or a can or something like that, and you have a lot of gas coming back, this is going to eat more of the gas that's coming back and do more with it faster. There's more room for the gas to go into. It can also, on full auto, slow down your rate of fire a little bit, which is a good thing. You don't want to be losing control of the weapon system. So slowing down the rate of fire is another pretty cool feature, but if you're running 300 blackout subsonic, this carrier is going to crush everybody. So it's also really well made. If you look at the machining on here,
really you can't see there.
You can't see any tooling marks on this. And this is,
let me focus.
Believe it or not, this carrier probably is close to 500 or 600 rounds now, and it looks brand new.
Oh wow,
so
yeah,
that's right out of a range gun.
Very
I just
clean.
Brought it in for the show. You can see some of the brass on the bolt here, but yeah, these are really cool. We're really excited about those.
Awesome, man. I guess to recap, so what would you say the most noticeable difference when suppressed? Like say your normal bolt carrier to that bolt?
It just runs a little bit smoother, and when you're running subsonic with a can, it's just it feels better, and the ejection pattern is a little bit more consistent, and just for subsonic builds, that's the way to go with the low pressure system. So.
Oh, cool. And did you want to talk more about your?
Yeah, I'd like to talk
Icon?
about this Tru-Core brake. So this is a brand new muzzle brake that we came out with for Icon Defense, and it's pretty cool. It has two things here that are going on. So you'll notice the inner core here is staying put while I thread this shell off. This is a -750 OD. So you can leave this pinned on to your shorter builds and remove your gas block for maintenance or repair without having to take off the muzzle brake. And then this just threads on. And then it times up with this little set screw here, but it's very, very effective. So not only does it have what we're calling it the Tru-Core, the small ID feature where you can maintenance your gas system, but with having a two-piece design here, you can do some things with air that are coming through here that you can't do with a one-piece design. There's some Venturi ports on the side that pull gas out like a siphon or something. After about 1,000 rounds of this during testing, we noticed the end of the muzzle brake had no carbon fouling. It looked brand new. So that can tell you that all of the gas is getting ripped out the sides of this compensator before it's following the bullet. So we have them in black for those of you that don't care for the copper colors, but it's a pretty cool little design here.
Very cool. So it's almost like adding channels by having the two-piece design.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Really easy to put together.
Would you want to talk about your Icon rifle builds in general?
Sure. We're working on being able to provide full rifle builds right now. This is just a mock-up of everything that we have. So our upper, our lower, our handguard, the Tru-Core Muzzle Brake, and then our new barrel is in here. And there's some pretty cool things about our new barrel. It's polygonal 3 rifling. That's a pretty different rifling than you've seen in most rifle barrels, and this is super, super accurate. The testing that we've done on this thing is like 3/4 minute at 100 yards with factory ammo. So it's very accurate, and 416R steel. It's 1 in 8 twist rate, so big profile. It's very sturdy. This is a 14.5, and it has this is a 16-inch barrel, and it has a mid-length gas system on it. So these things run very, very accurately. We're really excited about this. This will actually be at the range for people to shoot on Sunday for Triggrcon, as well as the Flux and some of the other SIG stuff that we have.
Very cool. Well, is that all you want to show? Or?
Sure, yeah. How was that?
I thought it was solid. Well, thanks for watching, and where can people learn more about you?
Well, you can go to icondefense.com, or you can go to killerinnovations.com. They also cross-communicate, so you can get to one from the other.
Rocket.
Social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. There's private Facebook groups if you want to join the conversation about anything, or get involved with the community for either of the product groups.
Cool. Well, thanks again, and monkey out. If you like this video and want to support us, check out the MIL-SPEC Monkey Store. Although known for morale patches, we also specialize in a good selection of DIY hardware and tactical accessories.